Hello, my
Got it.
name is Michael. Oh, hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is Popping Culture Movie Reviews. My guest today is the hilarious Ben Stacy. He's from the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Very funny comedian. If he's in your city, please go see him. I promise he'll have you dying laughing. Thank you so much for coming on to the movie review.
Thanks for having me on again, man. This is really fun.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. The movie that we're reviewing is Bad Santa. Ben chose the movie. This will be a 100% spoiler review. But before we spoil the movie, Ben, do you believe they should watch it?
I think it's targeted toward a certain audience. If you have a really, really dark sense of humor, I recommend this movie. But as a Christmas movie, this is not family friendly at all. Do not put it on in front of your children.
No. Even watching this on Comedy Central when they have it like edited out, still not really a family film at all, guys. Just letting you know. Uh, all right, guys. But yeah, like I said, we both agree you should watch it as adults. Everything past this point will be spoilers. Ben, I'll let you kick it off, buddy.
All right. Well, Bad Santa starts with this guy Willy and his associate. Now play Willy goes to malls across the country and auditions to be a mall Santa Claus. And he he usually gets the gig because his partner, um, shit, I hate that I can't remember his name. Um, he and his partner is a dwarf, a little person, so he's got like he brings his own elf into the mix. That's how he's able to get secure all these Santa Claus jobs. Um, but he's played by Billy Bob Thornton. You wouldn't think he would because he's played by Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton is rail thin in this movie. He's just so tiny. Like, well, he's tall, but he's like, he's springy. Um, but it starts with him stating after when they get these mall Santa jobs, Christmas Eve, they rob the mall of all its money. That's
Yeah.
because Willy's also a safe cracker. He is the guy who like listens to the safe, makes sure he can get the combination just right, and is able to. And they steal a shit ton of money from malls at the biggest consumer time of the year, and then they just go a year without doing anything. Willy says he's out, but Willy's also a straight up alcoholic, like 24/7 drunk, off his ass alcoholic. So he pisses away his money pretty quickly throughout the year. In fact, like the next scene we see him in, he's bartending in a bar in Miami, and he gets chased out because he's not the bartender. He's actually just trying to steal drinks from the bar because he has no more money. His partner comes back to him with another job, and they go do the mall Santa thing.
Yep.
As they're doing the mall Santa thing, Willy is just getting in trouble like the entire time. He shows up drunk. At one point, he like pisses his pants. He gets caught in a plus size women's clothing store, fucking one of the customers with the line, "You're not going to be shitting right for a week." It's just like, and somehow he's still able to keep the job. But Willy, because he's destitute, he has no money. He goes to crash at this wealthy family's home where the father has been incarcerated recently for a Ponzi scheme. And so it's just like that guy's mother and his son are living there. And his mother is just out of the loop, doesn't recognize anyone, just like kind of full on dementia
Yeah,
type
pretty much.
situation. Yeah, there. And the little kid, bless him, believes that Willy is the real Santa Claus and lets him stay in their home. So throughout this whole movie, again, Willy's just making bad decisions, but his partner, who's like stone sober, like he has his shit together. It's just like fucking come on, man. Like what you need to like get it together, that type of thing. And they're slowly planning the robbery of this mall while Willie gets into degenerate acts. However, they get noticed by the head of security, played by Bernie Mac, who
Yeah,
one of my favorite comedians.
me too.
Yeah, like he ain't scared of you. but yeah, Bernie Mac's character catches on to what they're actually doing, and instead of alerting the police, because he comes off as like a straight across the book, I'm enforcing the law type of guy. Instead of going to the police, he instead decides, I want a cut of this money, and he asks for half, which leads to one of the funnier scenes in the film where it's just like Willie's partner is negotiating with him. He's like, okay, 25% half, 30% half, 35% half. Then he gets all the way into the 40s, and it just like goes up one, 46 half, 47 half, 49. Willie's just like, just fucking give him half. Like, you're already here. But yeah, and so they agreed to give the head of security half the money. And as after this deal, Willie's alcoholic, and he's also suicidal. The kid that he's staying with is always trying to like give him these nice gestures. Like he'd make some cookies, he makes some sandwiches. He like tries to make him a present. He carves a wooden pickle for him, which leads to him cutting up his hand, and it's so fucked up. It's just like, what the hell is this? It's a wooden pickle. I made it for you. Jesus Christ, kid.
When
And
it comes to the child actor, did you like him?
I actually did. He was able to portray a certain type of innocence about him at this, and but the thing about the kid is he's constantly getting bullied by these like skateboard punks. And at one point, there's a scene where Billy Bob Thornton, and this is honestly my favorite scene in the whole movie. He's suicidal. He decides to sit in a parked car in the garage of this house with like a hose going from the tailpipe into the window so that he can asphyxiate himself.
Yeah.
And then the little kid comes out there and is just like, "Are you okay, Santa?" He's just like, "I just want it to end, kid." And like the kid's trying to like be nice to him and like see if he wants anything. "You want a sandwich?" And it's just like, "No, god damn it, I don't want it." And then he looks at the kid's face and he's got a big black eye and he's just like, "How'd you get that?" And then it just cuts to him beating the shit out of the skateboard punks. Like this is a grown man beating up teenagers, and it's one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in a film because it's just out of left field. Because the guy's like trying to kill himself, and now he's just beating up someone because he's in a way taken a liking to the kid. So
Yeah, it is a great cut because it's just like, all right, well, let's go handle this.
so
And
we
as an
like it.
adult, who has not wanted to punch a teenager? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like,
Oh my god, teenagers are the biggest assholes in the universe. And the worst part is it's not even their fault. They just got sprung with hormones and they don't know how to handle it yet. I like I'll say this. I know I was an asshole teenager. I wasn't the type who like drank or did any drugs, but I committed a lot of acts of vandalism. Let's just put it like that. I was trying to
I'm not gonna lie, man. As a parent now, and it's one of those things like I could see it happening, but I hope it doesn't. Like with my stepson, I hope he doesn't try me. Like I really don't. Like I really hope he doesn't like get loud with me because it's not like he's blood related to me. Like if he tried me, I'd be beating the hell out of somebody else's kid at that point. Like and just be
I
like,
didn't make this problem.
yeah,
I
but
didn't
I'll
make this
definitely
problem.
Yeah, like this is this would be I won't feel happy about it, but I'd be damn be like, oh, I ain't did nothing. All these lights, you ain't missed a meal yet, you fat mother. And he won't be fat. I'm sure he won't. He might. I don't know. But
Well,
yeah.
I was more of the latchkey type. Like when my parents split, my dad went to trucking school, and then he was a truck driver throughout the week. So I only got to see him on weekends. But my mom was working like 2 to 3 jobs at a time, trying to have an active dating life, and so I was home alone a lot. So
Yes, same here, man. It
yeah,
was
that's
weird. Like, how old were you when you start being left home alone?
honestly like 10 years old.
Same here, man. And it was very weird to me because me and my brother are 5 years apart. So like when he would go out, because I think he got his license like super early. So when he would leave and I'd be home by myself, it was one of those things like I was okay. But the older I got, the more I look back and was like, yo, I should have not been in this house by myself. Like there's a lot of flammable stuff in here. Like I should not.
Well, here's where I give a lot of credit to my mom. She at least had dinner ready for us. She would come home from like her office job to like get changed and ready for her like bartending job. I've done a lot of homework on bar on a bar stool in my life. Um, but yeah, she would send us like text messages saying that slow cooker better be at 2 when I get home. And if it wasn't, there was hell to pay.
Yeah, it's weird, man. Like, and we're gonna get back to bad Santa guys, but it's weird just being a parent now, bro. Because like, you think now, like, if you think back on it, it's like, did your mom have this saying like it better be, or like these threatening comments, and then you become a parent and you be like, yeah, I do, I gotta say some real mean stuff to this kid because I need, for starters, he's gonna be big one day, and I need this fear to be instilled. And it's a weird concept of like, yes, I need this person to fear me and then love me later. Like it's a weird thing. Um,
Well, and I don't. One thing I haven't. I don't hate children. I hate the shitty parents of children. The shitty parents of shitty children. And one thing I think we gotta like. I can't really speak much because I'm not a parent. But one thing we gotta stop doing is trying to negotiate with kids. Like
Amen.
I see it all the time. I see it with people just like what do you want for dinner? What I got as a kid was this is what we're having for dinner. If you don't finish it, that's what you're having for breakfast.
My stepson had this thing where like he was like get off from daycare and he'd be like happy meal, and like his mom would like just get it, and I was just like who the fuck who. No, 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 no. So when I start picking up from daycare, he'd be like, "Happy meal." I just look at him, be like, he'd be like, "Okay, what we gonna eat?" And I'm like, "Yeah, all right. This is ain't gonna be no tell me what we gonna eat." Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, we got
But
food at the house. This is it's happy meal at home. Shit.
I, I know it bothers the shit out of my mom because she has some friends that are like kind of new parents themselves. Um, and she's just like, "Well, I'll have them over," and they'll ask, "Well, what do you want for dinner?" And my mom's just like, "Are you really asking them what they want?"
Like, yeah, she understood, but my fiance was definitely first like, why can't we ask? I'm like, for starters, all my friends pay bills. Okay, this is a responsibility. This ain't friendship, like
Yeah.
like if one of my friends right now is like, hey Mike, I need help with blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, I know they're gonna pay me back. If he says he needs help, I just gotta help him. Like this is a responsibility right here.
Well, what's that one play slash film that Denzel Washington did?
John
Uh,
Q.
no, that one.
Oh,
Fences.
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 Yeah, I love
Yeah,
fences, man.
yeah. That scene where he's just like, I ain't got to like you. I do have to take care of you, though. You are my responsibility.
Yeah, bro. If you ever want to see that scene scary, because like Denzel Washington did good, but he sounded like a strong, like father that loved his son. If you want to listen to a version of that that's just super scary, it's on YouTube, and it's oh shoot. Who's the guy that played? It was the voice of Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime.
The guy that's the voice of Simba. I mean, his father.
Oh, James Earl Jones.
Bro, he's in the play, and it's a clip of it on YouTube. Bro, when he says those lines, it just scared shit out you. Like it don't sound loving, it don't sound caring. It's just like
Like,
you, hey, you you weren't supposed to be here, but since you're here, I gotta take care of you. That's what it sounds like when he says it.
damn.
Yeah, it's so scary, bro. Even the actor acting with him, like, hey man, you remember this a play, right?
You gotta love those little moments when there's like a real reaction in a film. Like one of my favorite scenes from television, the show Scrubs, when Dr. Cox, played excellently by John C. McGinley, loses 3 patients in a day, and then the scene, the last one when he's like trying to resuscitate him, and he just throws a tantrum and just starts knocking shit over. The actress who plays Carla actually stopped playing Carla in that moment. She was just like, "Holy shit!" Like that was a real reaction from her. Like,
Dude, Shrubs has like some just amazing fucking acting. One of my favorite episodes is still the episode with Brandon Fraser in it. Do you remember that episode?
yeah, oh my
Yeah,
god, that was
I'm not gonna
sad.
spoil it. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys watching, but if you ever get a chance, look it up. It's in the first season or the
Yeah,
second. I think it's the first or second season. But Brandon Fraser's in that episode, and anything else I tell you will be a spoiler. But it's just the ending is so well done. Yeah,
yeah.
Shrub is one of my favorite shows from the 2000s, man.
I gotta say, NBC alone is very on point when it comes to like sitcoms.
Yes, yes.
Like that's my favorite channel. If I'm picking like sitcoms, I'm watching NBC all day out of like the big 3. Because I mean, you got shows like that. You had Scrubs. You had The Office, of course. Parks and Rec. Brooklyn Nine-Nine started there, which is a really hilarious show.
Yeah.
But even like underrated gems like My Name Is Earl. God, I missed that show.
Bro, I didn't watch My Name Is Earl till it came on Netflix. And I promise you, I binge watched it like my whole like 2000, well, I graduated 2010. That literally the week after I graduated, I just binge watched it for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I I love that show. I miss that show so much, but because like I just hate that they ended it on a cliffhanger. They like canceled it right at a cliffhanger because I think they were supposed to end it on the season after, in which the ending was going to be that Earl realizes that he doesn't need the list. The list was a good deed enough, and now he's actually like he rips it up and throws it away and lives life as a better person.
Guys, to tell you how good My Name Is Earl is, they did the trope of sending him to prison and it still was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a season of him just in prison, and you're like, oh, this still works. Yeah.
Well, I
No,
mean, he's running into people in prison that he's wronged in the past too.
yeah,
So it's just like karma has come back to him finally, and like
yeah,
he's having to deal with more stuff in there.
yeah. One last question before we get back to Bad Santa. Why don't you why don't you think people give Psych a lot of credit?
I haven't watched much of Psych, but I've seen a couple episodes, and I absolutely see the appeal of it. I might have to actually go and watch it myself because I
It's
actually
good,
love.
man.
Oh yeah, I love the concept of the series where a guy is faking to be psychic, and it's just like he's essentially just a con artist
Yeah.
through the whole
But
show.
but
But
like I'm not gonna lie, like it's a good show. I like it. Like it's good.
I think it's
Uh,
just on the wrong network. It was on the wrong network. USA isn't like the go-to for like shows.
oh yeah, at
I
that
think
time Monk had it really when it came to USA Network. Monk really was like taking over.
yeah, yeah. It was like Monk was the big one, and like everything else was just like okay. And we also have this.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Monk and like White Collar, where it was just like, all right, let's throw all our eggs
It's
into that basket.
it's for like USA. The network is for I would say conservative old ladies like my grandmother because she loves that network so much. She loves all the shows that are on there. like it's not too violent. It's funny. And it's like
She has two channels. She has that and Fox News, and that's
she's not my grandpa's the Fox News watcher. She's the soap network.
okay. Nice, nice. So what do you think about the pacing in Bad Santa?
I think the pacing is perfect on it because I mean it's the movie is just one joke after another with like some scenes of like horror. Like let's go back to Bernie Mac's character.
Okay.
Now, he had negotiated, well, just kind of strong armed them into giving them half the loot when they're done robbing the mall. So later, Willy's partner and his wife are faking that they're broken down at, or yeah, like they need help with something, and they pull Bernie Mac to the side, just like, hey, can you like just help us with this real quick? He's like, really, you can't get this by yourself? And he's like, look at me, motherfucker, like, because he's only like 2 feet tall, and it's just like, fine. And then when he starts like helping them, well, partner's wife starts the car and just kills Bernie Mac in that scene. Like just hits him with the car and just crushes him to death so that they don't have to pay anything to him. And then as the movie goes on, Willy like has more of a heart towards the end of the movie. And the kid that he's living with wants this one particular stuffed doll, and he tries to get it for him during the robbery. The robbery goes off without a hitch, except Willy's partner turns on him because he just cannot rely on him anymore. He's just too fucked up. He's drunk all the time, like just causing a mess of every job they do. And the police show up, which leads to a chase after Willy is shot, and he tries to get the stuffed animal to the kid's house, and he does, but it's like covered in blood now because he gets shot down by the police in the movie. But and then you think Willy's dead, but the movie ends with Willy writing a letter to the kid that he's kind of taken under his wing, and letting him know that he ratted out his partner because fuck him, why not? Yeah, he tried to kill him. And that he made a plea bargain that he'll be in a prison hospital, but not for too long. And like his girlfriend at the time will like look out for him. And you know, he's not a good man at the end of the story, but he's a little bit better of a person.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Like you're not gonna say he's the hero, but you know, he
Yeah.
did learn a little bit.
Well, and that's another reason why I love this movie is because it's a great Christmas story because it's a tale of redemption at the end. Like he not a good person still, but he's better at the end of it.
Yeah. Still alcoholic.
Yeah. But I love that last scene where like the kid's riding his bike, and then the skate punk that got beat up earlier in the movie is just like, huh, that's a nice bike. And the kid's just like quiet. He's just like, yeah, you don't have anyone to protect you now. And then he just kicks him in the balls and just leaves. Like the kid's able to stand up for himself a bit.
Yeah, it's yeah. And it's do you believe that this movie has a message behind it?
Alcohol's evil.
Yeah.
It's a demon for sure. How not to behave in front of children.
Yeah.
Like again, one of my favorite parts in that movie is when Willy's having lunch in the mall food court, and a lady comes up with her son, and it's just like, excuse me, Santa Claus? And like the kid's trying to ask for a toy, and he just goes, I'm on my fucking lunch break. And it's just like, oh my God. This is how you act. Yeah, that's what happens when you hire a drunk.
Yeah, yeah. That's man.
Recognize a problem before it happens.
Yes.
That's another good lesson to take away from this story.
This movie is so quotable, man. Like, there's so many good quotes from this movie.
Yeah, I know,
Uh,
right?
yes. 1 through 10, what would you give it?
I'll give it I give it an 8. Yeah, leave room for improvement, but also it's again a movie that's not for everyone. It is not at all for everyone. So
Yeah,
I
I
give it an
would.
8 just because of the plot itself. The cast is amazing, and like the overall, like if you have a dark sense of humor, this is right up your alley. So, but otherwise, again, it's not for everyone. Yeah, like if your type of humor is like Jim Gaffigan or Gabriel Iglesias or Brian Regan, this is not going to be your movie.
Not at all. Not at all. Um, do you believe that this movie could be made today?
Hell no. They made an attempt at a sequel and it bombed so fucking hard.
As it should have.
Yeah, it's like you don't make a sequel to that, first off. Second, half the humor in it, it's like not considered politically correct, which in the day and age that we're living now, you gotta kind of be. You can't just have like a dwarf get called a midget every 15 minutes. And um yeah, and like the Willy's girlfriend in it is Jewish, and they like make a couple jokes about that in it. So yeah, no, you cannot make this movie today.
Do you believe that this movie has become a part of pop culture?
In the kind of seedy underground sense, because you'll see it played on TV, but it's like what I don't understand why television has censors anymore. Like with the rise of with like streaming services, like it's like you want you want to compete, just get rid of the I'm on my fracking lunch break right now. Like
Yeah.
a replacement word or like that blurt where it's just like we know what he said.
You know the craziest thing about cable is it's not really like, of course internet's the number one reason why cable is still a thing, but it's really just prisons.
Yeah,
Like prisons are the real reason why cable is still like a thing. Because you gotta give them something to watch, and it's like you don't want to give them something they can like make into a lighter. So
yeah.
so yeah,
Very true.
that's so it's like, yeah, just put cable on, be like, hey guys, you can switch the channels at every 2 hours, and that's it. Like cable, pretty much prisons are the only reason why cable is still like a thing. So I thought that was wild to find out.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah,
even even people like my dad are like my mom and dad have gotten rid of cable almost entirely because it's just like what why we could just stream it.
I haven't had cable since 2012.
I haven't had it ever. I've never needed it.
I just don't like I when I got Hulu and I realized, oh fuck, I gotta look at commercials. I was just like, oh man, like it's just not a thought process anymore to have commercials, you know.
I think
Um,
that's why I like Netflix, because there's no commercials on it.
no, not at all, and they're still under $20. I don't know how they pulling it off, but
I think they accrued quite a bit of debt because of just how much content they put out.
yeah, but it's kind of like having a house. It's just sometimes it's good debt, you know.
Yeah.
True. Um, so again, man, thank you so much for coming on. Tell them where they can follow you, and please talk to your fans, man.
Well, next Saturday, June 12th, I will be competing in Rock Hill, South Carolina at 742 North and Anderson in the Roast War Championship. I don't know if this is going to be relevant because it's like around Christmas time, but this is going to be released around Christmas time. But I will be competing against Nick Robinson in a steel cage, just roasting the hell out of each other. And I think this is going to be a good matchup because Nick can be mean as hell, and so can I. But also, June 29th, I will be at the Comedy Zone for their weekly open mic. So come check that out, folks. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Real Ben Stacy. That's STACY. A lot of people put an E in there, and that is not necessary. It is The Real Ben Stacy on Twitter and Instagram. You can also follow me on Facebook at Ben Stacy. There's 3 profiles because I'm logged out of like 2 of them. I can't remember the fucking passwords for them. But it's the one where I'm holding a microphone, I'm in a red flannel, and I've got spiked up hair. So follow me at Ben Stacy on Facebook.
Hey man, thank you again for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me again, man. It was really fun.
Thanks, man. I had fun too. All right, guys, thank you all for watching and have an amazing day.